looked them in the eye. With courage. Only cowards strike from the shadows.
The only thing I'm missing is a strong drink.
That was literally my reaction to this game. When I saw that cutscene, I was really disappointed that I got shunned for playing the game. And anyways, to the point, as a reminder to people who don't know what Sucker Punch is best known for, Sucker Punch Studios is known for the beloved Infamous series, which as a little kid, I grew up admiring and loving. Now the reason I'm saying this is because their previous games set a high standard for me in any next game they make, just like my high expectations for any Naughty Dog game. I could unfortunately say I was quite disappointed in this game. Now, like all my other reviews, I'll list pros, cons, and things I would have done differently. And before we get into this review, this is my first Sword game unless you count Star Wars games, so my review may be quite different than other people. Now starting with the pros in this game, the graphics are quite awe-striking to look at. The sheer color that is used to build onto the world is gorgeous. The combat midway through the game becomes satisfying, and the standoff system is absolutely fun to learn. The parrying system is really complex, but once gotten down correctly is amazing. While at first I hated the wind system, I grew to love it due to the fact that it keeps a more headless experience throughout the story. The stances are quite helpful to use once learned, and enjoyable to use. The bow and arrow mechanics are quite great, along with the beautiful customizations you can add to your character, like Jin. To the cons we go. Duels in this game are unfair. In fact, they are so unfair, even on the easiest difficulty. And why exactly is that a problem? Unlike the Valkyries in God of War, which some people can call unfair, God of War had good enough mechanics to justify the quote unfairness. Ghost of Tushima's mechanics against dueling were extremely unfair because your enemy would lock onto you and attack indicators weren't as nearly on point as God of War's were. The AI in this game is also extremely dumb. And I guess you can say to me, well, you were playing on easy. I recently just watched a few clips of people playing on hard and the AI was still really dumb, especially after playing The Last of Us 2. Now on the topic of The Last of Us 2, the stealth in that game was sheer brilliance, even on light, and yes, I have played on The Last of Us 2 many different difficulties. Not only is the stealth good in that game, you have choices stealth or not stealth. Unlike The Last of Us 2, Ghost of Tushima loves to make you use their painful stealth mechanics, which due to bad AI are extremely boring to use. But not only that, it takes away from the good sword mechanics the game shines in. Fighting indoors as Jin? I don't know why, but he loves to aim for windows instead of enemies. And as a person who is quite new and inexperienced to sword games, this frustrated me so much. I also felt outnumbered in this game. Almost like they tried to make up for the dumb AI so they threw more enemies at you. Now this problem was more of an issue at the beginning of the game, but I still found it here and there towards the end. The upgrades drastically make the game better, and it's unfortunate you don't get most until the middle of the story. I also found the horse mechanics painful, and as a person who loves Red Dead Redemption 2, these horse mechanics were a huge setback. And honestly, my biggest complaint was actually the sheer fact that this game takes a lot of mechanics from other games, but not enough of its own. I mean, Ghost meter is literally stolen from God of War with the Rage meter, and the game just doesn't stand out to me. While I do have other complaints, I'm not going to go over all of these. Things I would have done differently. Now let's start with the first thing. Sucker Punch's previous games I have played had a karma meter, which gave you an option of either being a bad or good guy. This game was totally set up for it. Not only that, but you could have totally put a karma system where one is either a ruthless killer or a samurai who follows the rules. It would have given so much more of Sucker Punch's uniqueness to their video games. Not only would their karma meter give a more unique experience, it also give a better experience and add more weight to all the characters and the world around it. I also think that it would have been a lot less generic if there was a karma system, because I personally predicted most of the story plots. I kind of knew the ending without even, actually knowing the ending. I also think that the upgrade should have been added earlier and into the game and rather than halfway through. I also hate the flashbacks that shun you for playing the game wrong. I only got 2 or 3, I can't really remember, but it really annoyed me because I'm playing the game I want to, and I understand, but if you put a karma sister in there, then I would know I'd be playing the way you don't want me to, or I would be playing like a terrible person or not. But the fact that they shun you but don't really give you options really kind of annoyed me a lot too. And to be brutally honest, if this game was made by another studio, like let's say Ben, I think I would have been a lot more lenient on this game, but I've seen Sucker Punch do really great games. I just was really disappointed, because I think their last game was what, Infamous Second Son, and don't get me wrong, Infamous Second Son isn't my favorite Infamous game, but it's a really good game. And this game really disappointed me, to be honest. I'm sorry to say that, but that's just my opinion. Anyways, what are your thoughts down below in the comments? And have a good day. Goodbye.